everybody, and welcome back to another Marvel Legends video. In today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Black Panther Wakanda Forever Black Panther. Now, I'm just going to say straight up, guys, there may be some minor spoilers in this review, a bit of speculation here and there, so if you want to go into the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie completely blind, then be sure to check back with this video after you've checked out the movie. Now, I was actually quite unsure if we were going to be getting a Marvel Legends Black Panther suit for this film. I mean, in the first wave, we got no live-action movie Black Panther suit, but it's awesome to see that we actually do have it, and I'm quite unsure as to why they didn't just pack it in the wave. But anyways, we take a look here at the box. We do get that plastic-free packaging, really cool kind of CGI render of the new and upcoming Black Panther, which, I mean, come on, it's Shuri. We all know at this point it's Shuri. I don't know why there's this big kind of conspiracy as to why everybody has to stay hush-hush. It just makes sense for it to be Shuri, and as we come around here to the side, we actually get a proper CG render, which I think gives us our best look at how the suit should look in the upcoming movie, and it looks cool. I'm not going to lie, I think it looks pretty sweet. As we come around here to the back, we get another CG render, sadly a little lacking in the accessory department. She merely does just come with two interchangeable hands. So with all that being said, let's crack open this Wakanda Forever Black Panther and check out the new 2022 suit. And here we have the Wakanda Forever Black Panther, and overall it's actually quite a nicely done figure. From some of the trailers we've seen and the very brief glimpse that we've got of this suit, it does look to be fairly accurate, but to me at least personally, I've always found the Black Panther suit just in general to be a little bland and generic in terms of its design, and it's kind of no exception with this one. There really aren't that many colours, and that's the main reason why I actually picked up kind of the vibranium version of T'Challa back in 2018. But as we take a look here at the details, I do like the head sculpt. This does actually appear to be very accurate to not only the CG render shown in the box, but also that glimpse we got of her in the trailer. So that's nicely done. I love the detail of these kind of little silver bubbles that we have here. That looks really cool. And just in general, the texture for the suit I think looks fantastic. But in terms of design, I'm not the biggest fan. To me at least, she looks a little bit too much like Catwoman, especially how the ears have been designed here at the top. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it actually looks in the film as we come here to the midsection of the torso. I mean, who are you really fooling? That is undeniably going to be Shuri, guys. I don't have to point out the obvious. This is going to be a female actually wearing the suit. So I don't know why they just can't go ahead and announce it. But anyways, we take a look here at the details for the arms. I think they look great. A complete pinless body. I mean, this is a brand new figure as a whole. We do get some nice detailing for the arms. The same can be said for the lower section, and as we just work our way down here to the legs, very sleek and slender, looking really cool. Here at the back, not much paint, but detailed just as nicely as the front. Now here for articulation, I have a few comments. This is a Black Panther, one of the most agile characters in the MCU and just Marvel in general, so it's a shame that she is lacking butterfly joints and a proper ab crunch. But here at the head, we do get a double ball joint which can rotate the full 360. That is fantastic. Of course, it can look left to right. The shoulders can hinge out to the sides, but due to the way this has been sculpted, you're more than likely going to shear that gold paint off. So I really wouldn't recommend pushing it past this point. If you actually feel any force, just stop it. Otherwise, that is going to leave a really nasty mark. We do get a full rotation out of the bicep, as well as double jointed pinless elbows. I guess that's something. I mean, considering how sleek those arms are, that joint is super thin, so it's cool to actually see double jointed elbows on this figure. We do get a full rotation out of the wrist, a hinge joint back and forth. The torso is severely lacking. It can crunch merely just to that extent, which to be honest is near enough barely existent. It can go back a little further. It can rotate the full 360. I did like the attention to detail of them actually painting these. I mean, when you actually bring that forward, you don't see that as much, so that's pretty cool. The hips can kick forwards that far, as well as back to that far, also out to the sides, rotation out of the thigh, double jointed pinless knees, which again, much like the elbows, love to see it, really cool, especially on a slightly more slender female body. And then finally for the foot, it can pivot forwards and backwards, and of course can rock side to side. So articulation definitely isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just for the Black Panther, I definitely would have loved a better range out of the torso and some shoulder joints. I really think that is something they could have packed into this figure. And talking of lacking, like I alluded to when we took a look at the packaging, she barely comes with any accessories. Now we have seen this Black Panther in the TV spot wielding those gauntlets that Shuri had in the first Black Panther movie, so it's such a shame not to see those at least included with this figure. We merely just in addition to the pair of fisted hands get a pair of open clawed ones, which are detailed enough. I mean, they look cool and definitely can spice up the display in terms of the poses you can pull off with this figure, but no unmasked head as well. I just don't get why there's so much secrecy surrounding the identity of this Black Panther, as if you go and read the comics, everybody knows who it's going to be. It's 100% Shuri. I mean, you just have to check out who's slap bang and center on the Black Panther Wakanda Forever poster. It really doesn't take too many guesses to guess who's actually going to be in this suit. But anyhow, taking a look at a few comparisons, we have the new 2022 Black Panther suit compared to the previous version. Now, like I said previously, this is the Vibranium Charged release, so has a lot more purple hues, which in my opinion just helped to make this suit pop. So I'm hoping that we can maybe see something similar to this in the movie, and then we'll eventually get the redeco on this mold. But just to give you guys a quick comparison of roughly how these two scale next to one another, here she is alongside a few other characters that are expected to appear in the movie, M'Baku and Ironheart, also known as Riri Williams, just so you guys can see roughly how she compares alongside these ones. And she's the smallest one out of them all, and very sleek. I mean, looking at this shot through the camera, she definitely does look pretty killer. And then finally, the most important comparison in my opinion, where you have the new Black Panther compared alongside the previously released Smart Hulk Build-A-Figure wave, Shuri. And I've really just brought this figure out to showcase a few of the part swaps. So as you guys can see, in terms of scale, they are pretty much eye to eye, especially if you were to kind of just base it on the head sculpt and not the hair. So again, this is definitely going to be Shuri. But in terms of swapping a few pieces out, you can actually pop the head off of this Shuri figure and smack it onto this Black Panther body. To be honest, I don't think it looks the greatest. The neck looks a little too long, and because the hair on this original version is quite high, it just throws the proportions off. So again, a few months down the line, once the movies come out, probably a little bit after Christmas, we'll get a re-release of this with a few additional paint apps, a few refreshes in terms of the design, and we'll no doubt actually get that proper unmasked head. But I know a few of you guys are also going to be asking whether or not she can actually wield the power gauntlets, and the answer to that is yes. So we can simply just pop them off our previous Shuri and snap them here onto the arms. Now, I would be cautious of some of the gold paint that we have on this figure. You definitely don't want to mark that up, but they will just clip here over the top into place very nicely. And to me at least, that makes all of the difference. Had they included these power gauntlets with this Black Panther suit, I would have said that it was an instant buy, as she looks so cool with these. It is a really nice looking design, and like I mentioned previously, we've actually seen her using these in the TV spot, so we know it's a weapon and accessory that she's actually going to use in the movie. So why they couldn't have just repackaged them for this figure is a little beyond me, but yeah, she looks pretty cool with them. And so, wrapping up on this review for the Marvel Legends Black Panther Wakanda Forever Black Panther. Overall, I mean, it's definitely a decent figure, but for a standalone individual release, I don't really think it's worth it. I don't think you get your bang for your buck with this figure. It's not part of a Build-A-Figure wave, so it doesn't come with any bath piece, and it's severely lacking in the accessory department, at least in my opinion. It would have been cool had they given her an interchangeable head. Now, like I mentioned previously, I know there's this whole kind of secrecy surrounding the identity of this Black Panther, but everybody knows who it's going to be. I guess that's more of a Marvel thing than a Hasbro thing in terms of what they can and can't show, but just in terms of the figure, I honestly would wait a few months to see what other reissues or re-releases we get of this, as we'll no doubt get in a couple of months time a better version, one that's slightly better painted, and will no doubt come with a few more accessories such as those kind of energy infused gauntlets that we see her use in the first film and an unmasked head. But in terms of the Black Panther body, it's a complete new mold. Overall, it looks really cool. It definitely does appear to be accurate to the movie, despite me not being a massive fan of the design just in general. I don't think the articulation is up to par for a Black Panther. I would have loved to have gotten some proper butterfly joints and definitely a deeper range out of the torso. But in all, I mean, it's okay. For those who can't wait for that inevitable reissue, then this isn't going to be a bad figure by any means to pick up, and it is just cool to get a proper Marvel Legends Black Panther suit to go alongside the release of the movie. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you guys think? And until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.